Really quick before we start the episode, guys, this is pretty fucking crazy. Right before we recorded, Ghislaine or Ghislaine or whatever the fuck her name is, Maxwell.
I was like Ghislaine.
Ghislaine. All right, Ghislaine Maxwell, Joffrey Epstein's cohort, was arrested by the FBI. That's fucking great.
Oh my god.
If you know anything about her and him, oh man, she's a fucking cunt from hell.
I really need to know more about this. I'm so vaguely aware of the details. Like, I know Epstein's a terrible person. I know his death is shrouded in mystery, and he probably didn't kill himself, let's be honest.
Yep.
And
you need to fucking get you. It is so uncomfortable to hear everything, but once you know, like, it's so fucked how no one took action in this shit.
Oh my god. I did read also, like, oh shit, someone in American politics was like, hey, Prince Andrew, why don't you just talk to us? Why don't you just have a seat? Just have a seat over there.
Just enjoy those cookies and lemonade. Yeah, Prince Andrew. Mm-hmm.
There's renewed interest in him. I did see an interview with him today on YouTube. Total coincidence. I think it was related to Miss Jizz or whatever. He was someone... The interviewer is British, and so they're a good interviewer, not like Americans who are bad interviewers.
I don't know. That one British guy that talked to Robert Downey Jr. that made him walk out is a pretty big piece of
God,
shit.
You're so right. Oh, they're bad interviewers everywhere.
Yeah.
So this British interviewer is like, now, here's like the report, and you were like sweating on her, and she was uncomfortable or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I don't sweat, so I don't. It's a thing with me. I don't sweat.
Wow.
Have you seen this? It's so fucking funny. You've got to YouTube this. It's so funny.
I love the idea that he just turns into Chris D'Elia, and he's like, yeah, dude, I don't fucking sweat. I don't sweat. I'm not going to touch a 17-year-old girl.
He's like, he's saying, like, biologically, he doesn't sweat.
Fucking stupid.
And he's in the middle of trying to defend himself. Like, this isn't, like, brought up randomly. Like, it's, like, during his accusations.
I love the idea. I love the idea that he's like, excuse me, I don't sweat. Could I get a towel?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because it looks like he immediately backtracks and is like, this was a big mistake. This is instantly verifiable.
There are so many people that are connected to Epstein, and it's fucked. So
I mean, bring them all down. Mm-hmm. I'd love to live in a world of actual justice, and everyone just gets fucking comeuppance, and
it's never gonna happen,
et cetera.
But hopefully, we get some justice out of this, and she doesn't kill herself.
Yeah, kill herself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Gerrit. Just go turn that camera off for a little bit, okay?
Oh, okay.
No reason. Okay, now we're gonna get these guards to fall asleep, winky smiley face. Okay, guys?
Okay. All right, turn the camera back on. Okay.
Oh my god, Jizz is dead! Oh, fuck! She struggled to hang herself. Fuck. Look at those struggle marks all over her. Fuck. She was really not sure if she wanted to do this. Damn.
Yeah, so.
Well, better luck next time, everybody.
Enjoy the episode, everybody.
Yeah.
Kerrit podcast. Good song.
Yeah, this sounds like something carrots could grow to.
Crunch into us.
What's up, Doc? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Crunch.
Why are we listening to this, Gerrit?
Because we've started the episode.
Oh, right. Hello and welcome to The Vegetable Celery. I'm your host, Rilabalogodo, and this is my co-host, R2 Smogalodutu.
What? I don't know what that's from.
It's from our show. That's who we are.
Yeah, we've been saying that for 59 episodes. Yeah.
We are reinventing ourselves.
Oh,
we are
so-
now the Vegetable Celery Podcast.
Are we spelling celery Cellary?
So I see you're making a reference to our original title.
Nope.
Now, when you say, but vegetable celery is literally spelled Gerrit for vegetable, and then celery is Kevin. Here's the thing. We live in a world where you can just manufacture meaning out of anything, and you can just pretend like things aren't happening at all. So I'm going to call it that. I'm going to say that those letters are now pronounced in a new way, and that is what the show is going to be known for.
Vegetable celery.
Do you like it? Because
it's
a
great.
play on carrot, right? Because a carrot is a vegetable.
Uh-huh.
And then our names don't sound or look anything like vegetable celery.
Yep.
And so people will listen to us because they're going to be like, wait a minute. These guys don't obey the laws of grammar. And I'm a Nazi, and I'm into that. I'm into pulling the wool over people's eyes, and I'm into saying whatever the fuck I want with no repercussions.
Are you Trump?
I mean, at this point, the best way to get supporters, be racist. So, like, let's do it.
My favorite thing is that he's fucked when it comes to the whole country, so he's just been doubling down on his base, which is a small minority. It's fucking hilarious to me.
I love it. I know.
He tweets yeah.
Well, when he tweeted the white power video,
I had the headphones out. I didn't even hear that it said. I didn't hear that it said white power, even though I agree with it. But okay.
Such a blatant attempt. And then he releases the T-shirt today.
Yep.
With the Nazi eagle on it.
And, dude, I had people on my fucking Facebook wall being like, I hate Trump, but let me just give them Trump's...
Okay, I hate Trump as much as the next guy, but you gotta know that the eagle has always been...
It's fucking... Like, they're explaining away what he's doing, and it's like, no. It's clearly jumping out to... How about the baseball? Did you see the baseball?
Isn't it like $88 for a baseball? And
Yeah,
it literally just says Trump on it. Even an 88 is like a number for Nazis.
Yeah, because it's like HH, Hail Hitler. Like, that's fucking common knowledge. And he's a conspiracy theorist, so you know for a fucking fact that he's doing this on purpose to reach out to those people. You know for a fact.
I feel it's probably Stephen Miller, maybe, who might... I don't know. It could be anybody in the administration. They're all racist pricks.
Yep.
It is quite a thing to behold, though, to see him throwing such a Hail Mary. I think in this podcast...
Would you say
like
would you say a Hail Mary?
a Heil Mary.
Heil Mary? Trump's throwing a Heil Mary.
That's the title of the episode. Trump's
course
throwing
it
a
is.
Heil Mary. I love it. This is, I think I seriously made reference to this like 40 episodes ago, but when they put Batman into Batman versus Superman, I thought I had read something where someone called it the greatest Hail Mary in like franchise history of all franchises, where they're like, oh God, our franchise is over before it began. No one liked Man of Steel. Let's throw in Batman.
Yep.
I was wrong. It's been topped. Only took 4 years.
It's Trump.
Trump doubling down on racism hardcore.
Dude.
Everything he's done has been much. It's only going to get worse, too.
Yeah,
That's what's
of course.
crazy. We have not seen the worst of his racism come out yet.
Nope. And it's so fascinating to watch people be like,
Oh, he's not racist.
I wish that everyone who voted for him woke up the next day sounding just like him. I don't know if I've told you that before, but I feel like that would definitely, like, if you told people you're gonna sound, if you vote for him, you will wake up the next day sounding just like your idol.
You ever watch, you like The Twilight Zone?
Love it.
There's this one episode where these rich people are reading the will of their deceased relative. It might be their father or uncle, and they have to wear masks the whole evening. And then when they take the masks off, their faces have morphed into the mask they were wearing.
Oh, wow.
And that, I think, is a great, like, Trump representation where it's like if they all woke up with their voices all fucked up, they'd be like, oh, Okay. I
like,
was the asshole the whole time. I get it.
It's like Freaky Friday, but instead of becoming Lindsay Lohan, you become Donald Trump.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a wonderful day. I can't wait to go see the world. Melania, I think I'll take the kids. Melania, your name's not Melania, it's Linda. I'm going to take the kids. We're going to go to Steak and Shake. It'll be great. Donald, that sounds great. I think you should have fun. Your name's not Donald, it's Harry. Why did I call you Donald?
They all... I fucking love it.
You should... Did you just come up with that? That's fucking hilarious.
No, I've been thinking about it for a long time, but
man.
It was just perfect for the moment.
You could just put in you know how holy fuck. You should make a 5-episode season of like, I don't know, call it like The Smiths, but it's about
they all sound like Donald.
They keep calling it Donald. Wait a minute. That's how they just start every line of dialogue. Donald, wait, your name's not Donald. Did you get the eggs?
Why do I keep saying Donald? Your name's not Donald. Dad, do you think we can...
It's the dumbest idea, but I love it.
I know.
I love it. So yeah, I will say, just saying, in regards to the whole blatant racism thing and how wonderful it is to behold, wonderful in this way, in the way that I really think he is losing support, and I just don't see how he's going to get elected at this point. Obviously, anything can happen. Get out and vote, but it's just so funny to see. Because if he does lose, and I'm just going to be optimistic for a quick second here, if he does lose, the Schadenfreude will be so like life-endingly amazing. Mm-hmm. Like I will have a heart attack because the last like 6 months will start to like come into my head about how horrible he was. Yeah, and I'll just be like, I knew it. This fucking idiot, like this stupid moron.
Well, there's gonna be a year-end recap where every news show, every fucking the Daily Show, everything is gonna be like, here are all of the moments that he did something. Here is do you remember this one? Do you remember this one? Because something happens every day and we just forget about it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Did he do anything today? Because this goes up tomorrow. Has he done?
I look at my phone all the time because I can't not look at my phone. I can't wait till he's elected and I can like throw my smartphone out the window and get a flip phone because holy shit.
I do know for news today, I guess coronavirus cases in Michigan, yesterday's numbers were over 500. I think it's like 400 or 540 something or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's Michigan. So, yep.
Well, I heard that cases had risen by 50,000. Was it in America, right?
Pretty sure. Yeah. The positive, I guess, is that there's less deaths because it's mostly people in our age bracket. But the problem with that is if you're getting it, the odds that you don't care are pretty high. So you're gonna fucking give it to all your goddamn relatives. I mean, that's what we were talking about in the in fucking March. That's what educated people were saying. And then it was reconfirmed. And then now it's just like Fauci's like, yeah, it might hit 100,000 cases a day. I mean, I'm lost. Literally. I don't
know. I love it. And then the lieutenant governor of Texas was like, we don't want your help, Dr. Fauci. Thank you, but no thank you.
It makes my blood boil.
I just think it's hilarious. I mean, I know it's awful. It's just so funny. All of these people. Dude, teenagers are the worst. Teenagers and old people are the worst.
It's not even teenagers. It's like 20. It's like 20-something to 30-something. It's millennials.
It's us. It's us. We're the bad people. Oh,
it's because we're the ones that are able to go out to bars. Teenagers aren't going to bars.
Yeah, but teenagers
unless they have
a
fake ID.
Well, I guess I say that because I went out on a bike ride last weekend, and sometimes you're with a group of people and you can't really, I mean, first of all, I should have, if you feel strongly about something, you need to stand up for yourself. But it also felt like you were in like a dreamlike state where you were kind of just going along with things until it was too late. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
We had gotten into a situation where we were just ordering like shakes from a drive-in, like an A&W style drive-in place. And even though you could order from outside, they're like, oh, come in to order. And we're like, why? Your window's open. You have a card reader right here. We could easily finish this transaction right here.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, come on in. You don't need a mask. It's fine.
Nope.
And it's like a literal like 17-year-old kid telling me this.
Idiot.
And so I'm like, okay. And inside, it was like, I don't know. I want to say 12 to 15 or so people, just all about like teenage age, like their first job, just slinging ice cream. And they're all just chilling in this one little area, like just going about their business. And
You're
I was just
fucking
like,
kidding
what
me.
is going on?
That's when I would accept the shakes, sanitize the cup, and then like fucking take it home and put it in a goddamn another cup and then drink it out of that. There's no fucking
I wouldn't. I mean, if it were just me, I'd have just left. But
yeah, if you hadn't paid yet, because like it's gonna be more of a thing if you fucking try to get that money back. So it's like, I'll take these,
right,
and I'm out of here. But if I hadn't paid, fucking bye.
Yeah, it was a very odd experience, and I was just like, if this is the attitude of people, I mean, no wonder we're so fucked. I mean, obviously we're fucked, but then seeing it firsthand, you're like, oh, okay, so not only are we obviously fucked, but that's why we're fucked so obviously. Perfect.
Oh, dude, I mean, my work closed again. Like,
right, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. The comedy club. I was 2 weekends, and then low attendance. We canceled the late shows. So it was, the first weekend was Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. The second weekend, we did the Thursday, canceled the late shows because there were no tickets sold, and then moved. I think maybe there was 4 on the late show Saturday, and moved them to the early show. We did the Friday early show, went home, and then Saturday the news broke that there were 2 reported COVID cases from the beer garden outside.
The beer garden?
And then the previous 2 nights, the Barbarino's was closed because the staff refused to work. So they just didn't have a staff. I know.
Love
it's like, why are we open at all? So, yeah. So that whole building.
Did the staff get fired?
No.
To your knowledge?
I don't think they can. I mean, I'm willing to bet they didn't work. They didn't come to work because of not adhering to the COVID standard. Because the amount of people I saw in that building without their fucking masks on, like especially the second floor, like you can wear it when you walk in, and then they just let them take it off. I guess it's the same as like shopping centers where there's no fucking enforcement.
Yep.
So it's like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I must say, and I'm not excusing this at all, but it must be strange. There needs to be. We need to brainstorm ideas on how to solve this issue, where the store will have a sign that says it's mandatory. And then no one enforces it. But part of the reason, I think, is because the store associates are so lambasted by people that refuse to wear a mask. Like, they're straight up assaulted in some videos I've seen.
I've seen.
That's the extreme, but...
Yep. Well, that's the thing. It's because... Well, I mean, that video is for sure evidence, because they see that video and they're like, well, I don't want to get my ass kicked. Or
by a COVID carrier.
The amount of people that they've been yelled at when they're like sanitizing carts or not sanitizing a cart because they're not supposed to and it's someone else's job or some shit like that. Like, it's unfathomable to me how this entire country is supposed to be the United States of America, even though there are different laws everywhere. There's different COVID fucking, guidelines to follow, and it's like masks are supposed to be here, they're mandatory there, they're not here, and you're like, this country is just utter dog shit.
It's funny how Europe, they're technically like they're individual countries, and they are communicating better on how to confront this at a united level than we are.
It's almost like the word union is stronger than the word united. Isn't that interesting? European Union, that means together. United, together. but just because we're states, we're a bunch of fucking morons. Like, what? I don't understand. The idea is interconnected, right?
That is interesting, but if we're talking about, like, I guess what you're talking about is how language, how small differences in language and grammar can kind of evoke different cultural, I don't know, uprisings.
I just thought it was interesting that they're the same word, union and united. They're supposed to mean the same thing, but therefore, I mean, so we should both be acting like either a union or united. Like, there's no there's no union in this country.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, sometimes. I mean, in some ways. You remember when Spider-Man came out in 2002, and Spider-Man's like totally in trouble, and New Yorkers start throwing rocks at Green Goblin? We were united then.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the only time.
Mm-hmm.
You want Spider-Man, you gotta come through me.
Yeah, and that was played by a famous comedian.
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
Mm-mm. I know Jim Norton's in that movie.
That's what I'm thinking of. He stinks and I don't like him.
He stinks and I don't like him. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yep.
The moment in 2 when they all come together and they carry him to the middle of the train is still very, very powerful.
It is. Great movie. I mean, I love those movies.
Yeah,
great video game. Spider-Man 2, great video game.
Never played it. Is it better
Speaking of video games...
Yes!
You know, Gare...
Let's take a break.
I was... Anchors away!
Oh, no. I dropped my top.
What? Your top to what? Pepsi? Oh,
No,
God.
my
Stop.
water.
I thought you were doing something. Never mind. It's fine.
I was.
Oh, I see. I see.
Wasn't there something? Sylvester Stallone. Video games.
Yeah. I've only played 2. Oh, I did want to tell you this little piece of information. I'm very proud to announce a huge new development. Mm-hmm. Pretty proud of this announcement. My team in Madden in Dynasty mode has now reached 10 Super Bowls, won 9 of them. So I just wanted to say, good job, everybody. The career of my coach is doing really well.
That's pretty cool. You're better than the Lions. So.
Well, yeah.
Who isn't?
I mean, you didn't have to say it like that. It's kind of rude. Well, you didn't have to say that either. Wow, this came out of nowhere. I was just trying to express a happy moment, and you decided to shit all over me, which is fine.
No.
And the fine listeners who also are supporters of that organization known as Los Leones in Spanish.
Los Leones.
Only in Spanish. See. So yeah, anyway, not a major achievement is basically what I'm trying to say. Not very major at all.
That's pretty cool though. Playing some video games?
It's not. Did you know? Have you heard about EA games?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the video game industry?
Challenge everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's EA.
They're awful. All the video games are terrible. And I'm finally getting why. Because they're all shitty. Because they're all just about money. You know what's crazy? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You disappeared. If you listen to this, everyone's all about profits. That's what a business does. What if the next step, in humanity, in society, we live in a society, and the next step is to free ourselves of profits over everything. And instead, we solely focus on making something good, knowing that even if we take a small dip in profits due to the amount of money that is needed to make this the product it needs to be, we know that we will still be making a profit, and thus we will just allow it will have goodwill, it will have good product, and everyone will be happy. And what's the big fucking deal, bitch? Do you know what I mean?
You would have to get rid of greed, and there are too many people that see Gordon Gekko as a positive character.
Do you remember, we had talked about this like 50 episodes ago, how we'd watch a movie and we'd be like, how does this get made? Because you have all these talented dudes with $100 million, and this is the garbage you give me?
Yeah. But
it's not just movies. It's everything. And that is what Madden is to me right now. I finally understand what people mean.
How do you mean?
So, for example, in this one singular example, and I'm telling you, I've read stories about like major games and major platforms, like next-gen consoles, because I'm on the Xbox 360 still. It's Madden 13. It's way outdated. Calvin Johnson's on the cover, for fuck's sake. But, okay, in the game, I don't have the internet. This is going to take like 5 minutes because I need to get this out because you can't Google this because it's from like 7 years ago. So no one has any information about this. So I'm playing the game. In the mode I'm in, you can scout players and draft them for next season, right? Because they're trying to give you that football feel of having like season to season shit, right? And there's a draft and there's scouting and you're like trading players and trading picks and shit like that. And it's fun. It kind of is reminiscent of fantasy football where you can like trade players in between your people in your league or sign people off of the waiver wire, whatever. You do the same thing in Madden. And it's all bullshit, obviously, but if it were nice and well done, you'd feel a small flutter in your soul like, hey, I can be a general manager too. And what they do in the game, though, is you have a cap, right? Like a cap limit for money to sign players. So you can't just sign like $20 million a year to every single player out there, which is true in real life. Cool so far. In the game, you can sign players to contracts, and then the game doesn't care if you're over the cap limit. It doesn't say, hey, this will put you over the cap limit. So you can just sign all these players, and then once you realize, oh shit, my math was wrong, you have to cut a bunch of players in order to advance. But it doesn't tell you who you need to cut. And then if you fuck up and you don't cut enough people, it will freeze on you, okay? So, and it doesn't save automatically. So you have to save at a point where you know you have enough saved so that you know where to go back and do it again if you need to, if it freezes, which is frequently. I'm just really mad about it because holy shit, it shouldn't matter.
Does it freeze because it's like a shittily made game, or is it because your Xbox is outdated, or is it like, was it intentional?
Based on what I have read online, and again, there's limited information because it's so outdated, this is an issue with EA Sports, where they release a game every year. Every single like new generation has this issue where there are just bugs in the game. Just constant bugs everywhere on the smallest of things. Like one of the recent ones is like you can see Tom Brady walking around and he's fully animated, but he has no head. He has a helmet, he has no head. Wow. And it's like, dude, it's 2020. Other examples are just like players don't look like players. Like it's 2020 and like they look like shit. You know, like those are small examples. There are a bunch of examples where it's like, what the fuck were you thinking?
So these are the new games, the 2020 with the thing?
The examples that I cited are recent, yes.
Wow.
And it's crazy to me because the whole point is this is a money thing where they're getting paid by the NFL or they're paying. There's a licensing agreement between the two, right? And since EA has that contract locked down, and I think it's locked down for the next couple of years still, they don't care. It doesn't matter. They're going to release one every year, and someone's going to buy it for $60 a pop, and there it is. Boom shakalaka, motherfuckers. Like, we're going on vacation. We're getting bonuses. We're blowing it all on blowing hookers. I love it.
I mean, EA Games has made some James Bond games, and I feel like that's where we're going into, and I feel like we should take a break really quick so then we can get into the James Bond discussion, because I have been waiting for this since fucking the last time we recorded.
Anchors away.
Yeah! Hey, are we back?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Flaflocken Fluken Duken Spocken podcast. I'm your host, Malaka Tuka Bakatuku, and this is our co-host, Lapatipanamanibu. And we're here to talk about video games.
Video games.
Video games.
God damn it, Bobby.
So you wanted to. So we're back on the video. We're EA before it sucked because they did have some good ones back in the day.
they've always kind of fucking shot their wad.
Don't we all?
Yeah. That's what that break was for.
Yeah.
Really quick before we get to the Bond though, I just ordered So Mortal Kombat Aftermath. Have you heard about this?
I've heard of Aftermath with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
No.
I've not heard of Mortal Kombat Aftermath.
So the latest Mortal Kombat game is Mortal Kombat 11, right? And they released the game, and it was like $60 when it comes out, right? And then they released a special edition, which was like 90 or something like that.
Sounds not worth it.
The special edition had like different like costumes and new characters. So if you bought that, you would get them automatically. It's the money from those kind of things is like you get it first, you get it quicker, it's the pre-order kind of thing where it's like it gives you incentive to give them the most money immediately, so then you can get the things as they come out quickly.
Right.
I have never been a person that cares about the time that I'm playing because I don't care about playing online so much, and I feel like that's because of when I played video games a lot. The only video games I genuinely enjoy are like James Bond and Mortal Kombat. Those are fucking it. I like that fighting game and I like that shooting game. And the ones that were so great were like multiplayer, where you can play with another friend, but I've never really played online with other people.
Okay.
So that's not my thing. So sorry. It's getting off track. But
we're really bad at talking about this.
This
Holy
is fun.
shit.
This is fun. I'm having a great time. So
Well, me too.
the Mortal Kombat game came out, and then the premium edition that came out right at the same time. So you could get either version. And then they just came out with Mortal Kombat Aftermath, which includes all of that shit. And I got it for $49.
Interesting.
But it's like a year later. So it's all of that shit. And then anything else that they come out with, I'll get it.
Right. So you just had to wait a year.
Yeah. I also don't have a PlayStation 4. I just bought the thing because it was cheap. And now when I get a PlayStation 4, when the PlayStation 5 comes out, it'll be the cheapest fucking thing in my life.
You'll be prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's the same thing with Madden. It is ultimately the same game year after year. And I got Madden 13 for fucking 99 cents.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the thing, too, is like everyone moves on so quickly to something else. Like, I think something that's so great about video games is the replay value. That's why, for me, the best James Bond game is still GoldenEye. I fucking love it.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason to play anything else.
No.
Honestly.
It's the best video game of all time.
Yeah. It's arguably, I mean, it is arguably, I would say, like, what, top 5? I mean, honestly, for real? Like, in the grand spectrum of things, because there are going to be people that are like, well, yeah, but you didn't play, like, Katamari Damacy, and I'll be like, I'm sorry. You're right.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that was just the example that came to my mind. That's where they roll things into a ball. I don't really know what happens. It's supposed to be good. I've always wanted to play. It was for PlayStation 2 back in the day.
I'm willing to say that Mario All-Stars is the best video game of all time because it includes 1, 2, 3, and Yoshi World or whatever.
Well, it includes the Lost Levels. I don't think it includes
That
any
too.
Yoshi World, though.
There's Super Mario World.
Exactly,
That's what it
Super
is.
Mario World. That one's fun. There is a Yoshi's
Island.
World? Yoshi's Island, that's what it was. Which is
yeah.
pretty fun, but kind of weird.
All-Stars is like, it includes all of those on Super Nintendo. Fucking
Dude,
amazing.
I feel like it's okay, so Super Mario All-Stars for sure. Because I was going to say Super Mario, but if you can include All-Stars, then absolutely that one. And then GoldenEye. And then I feel like, what was the other one I was going to say? There was another one in there. Donkey Kong.
Never played it.
Oh, son.
Sorry.
I'm not accepted. I don't know what to tell you.
What is your favorite Mortal Kombat game?
Oh, Deadly Alliance, duh. 'Cause
Really?
that's the one where you can stab people and then it
then they
stays
slowly
there,
die. Yeah.
and then their health bar slowly goes down, and then I just stand there and I just kind of walk away from you as you try to kill me. And it's really fun too because when you stab the people in the kneecaps with what are the knives that Raphael uses in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Sai.
Yeah, so when you stab them with those and they're in the kneecaps and they can still move like fluidly, and you're like, in real life, you're like, you couldn't do that with your kneecaps like penetrated by a knife. That's bullshit.
I think the thing about the Mortal Kombat series is that they're so, like, every release that comes out, it's so consistent. Like, they're always trying something new and they're always getting better. as like so. One is holy shit. This is a revelation. 2 immensely improves 1. The gameplay, the characters themselves. 3 even better. It's great, and then they will like re-up that game. So there's Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and then Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, where they throw other characters in, but it's still the same gameplay of the third movie or the third game. Mm-hmm. And then Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was every character that has ever existed in the game. They're now playable. That was for PlayStation. And then they change up the entire thing and make a 3D world. So it's Mortal Kombat 4. And then Deadly Alliance follows that and improves on 4. So it's like still in the 3D world. You can shift right and left and all that stuff. And it's just, and then Deception, and then
isn't Armageddon in there?
Armageddon's the next one. Armageddon is all of the characters up to that point. So they're always introducing new characters. There's side games. There's a tournament type thing where it's like story mode. It's all this shit. They're always trying something new, and they're breaking down. They're always going new directions. And the newest one is like it's a very integrated story, and it's always a continuing story. So it's like they're making movies. So a Mortal Kombat movie is just incredibly who gives a shit to me, because you have the games, and that's where the storyline is, you know?
I was going to say, it's funny that Mortal Kombat games get consistently better, whereas the movie versions of Mortal Kombat get consistently worse.
Yeah. Well, it's because people don't understand what Mortal Kombat is supposed to be, so that's why.
Right.
I think 1 is probably the best representation of what it's supposed to be, minus the violence, you know.
Minus the violence?
There's no violence in the first movie. I mean, there's no fucking... It's not like, you know, someone's getting their head removed and their spines attached. That's a fatality in the fucking game. So how do you... Yeah, it's PG-13 because they wanted to have it... It's interesting how the ratings board is different than the video game ratings or whatever. And I think Mortal Kombat's the reason that they introduced ratings for games. Could be wrong.
That's possible. I must say I'm a little shaky on... It is funny, like, they started introducing the parental advisory label for CDs in the 90s, right? Or was
I think it was late 80s. It might have been... early 90s, though, because Tipper Gore was the one that kind of championed
That's what I thought. Yeah, because Eminem was saying, fuck Tipper Gore. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, when I first listened to his music, I was like, who names their daughter Tipper?
Well, I think it was 80s because the story goes that someone heard, I think it was maybe her or someone else heard Prince's Purple Rain, and the song Darling Nikki... It opens with talking about a girl masturbating to a magazine or something like that. And then the mom heard it, and she's like, what the fuck? My daughter can't listen to this. So it's like, now we have to introduce, like, warning labels for albums.
The 80s fucked so many things up, honestly.
It really did.
Wow. Economically, and then, like, just politically, and trickle-down economics, and then fucking...
racially.
Like, we gotta... Yeah, the drug wars, the fucking... having the Satanist stuff kind of began, I feel like, in the 80s.
Satanic panic. Yep.
Yeah, and then you have people becoming more repressed by being like, hey, this CD has a couple F words, and hey, this video game is gonna be a little gory. So,
and it's just so funny. The place we've got now where games are the goriest and movies are the goriest and music is whatever the fuck you want it to be. It's like, it's so insane how we've evolved that much where, like, freedom of expression is so, you know, out there. But then in like politics and the way that we self-govern is even worse.
So
you're like, how the fuck did this happen? We were so afraid of fuck bombs in records. And then now it's like, say whatever, but, you know, Trump is God or some shit like that.
Yeah, I just also have to say, I know movies are gory, but I would say TV shows are the goriest because, like, Walking Dead's on AMC, and it is the craziest shit. I mean, honestly, even, like, I mean, Game of Thrones, sure, but, like, definitely Walking Dead, because AMC is still, like, readily available if you have a cable subscription.
Well, like, have you watched The Good Place?
I've gotten through the first like 3 seasons. I like that show. I just haven't finished the final season.
Yeah, me too. We got to figure out how to watch season 4. Jackie and I have been kind of rewatching it, and the amount of masturbation jokes that are in there, it's like, it's so many that I'm like, did they bleep this for TV airing? Because we're watching it all on Netflix or Hulu.
Right.
And it's just, yeah.
I wonder. I don't think they did. I mean, things have gotten better. What is it? TNT that allows F words now, or FX? FX like officially allows F words now. Because I remember even in like the mid 2000s they wouldn't do it. They'd do like shits or whatever, and they'd do like ass shots. But now they're straight up like, we're putting fucks in.
They kind of have to at this point. It's like you have to renegotiate with the FCC. So I just don't understand how Netflix is something that you can get on your TV, and you can click on it and then watch something, and then TV is so like, you know, everything goes to Netflix or Hulu. So it's like the TV stations have negotiated with them. So it's like, well, yeah, you can put that content there, and then people can watch it unedited. And it's like, why don't you just have it on TV anyway? Like, what were you trying to protect? Children? I mean, why don't you protect the kids that go hungry every year? Why don't you protect the children that have like just shitty parents and they are neglected continually? Why don't you protect the kids getting molested who are getting adopted all the time? I don't understand why fuck bombs would matter in a goddamn show on NBC. I don't understand how that was your fucking focus for how long. It's this stupid Christian bullshit. Your cat's up on the fridge.
Oh, I see her. Where'd she go? Oh, she's over there now. Yeah, dude, great observation. And you're right. It's so, I mean,
it's just,
no wonder where we are right now.
I know.
We had no focus on the things that actually mattered.
It's so, I mean, it's so obvious to see. Like, there is such disparity in everything. I mean, the idea that gay marriage was so taboo and now it's legal should tell you everything you need to know. Like, there was a big debate about letting them adopt, and I'm like, there are so many straight families that are fucked up. Like, why would you...
Like, what's the argument here?
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, I mean, God said, separation of church and state. What are you doing? Watch your words. You pick and choose. Fucking cherry-picking Christians. And it's not just Christians. That's the thing, too, is like, it's everybody across the world. I don't know.
I mean, these are huge issues.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's all fucked up everywhere. I don't even know what I'm going to say, because, like, you're right. And it's weird because I feel like in some, how do I put this? Like, we're trying to emulate a certain standard, and I don't know where that standard began. I guess for me, it kind of feels like it began in the 50s. I don't think that's true necessarily. I think that you could easily argue it started here or there or whatever. But it's easy for me to say the 50s right now, talking off the cuff, because we came home from war, and then all of a sudden the economy's getting better. We're trying to get jobs for everybody. We're trying to get affordable housing. We're trying to build new neighborhoods and highways, and we're like kind of getting that sort of idealism. And we've been trying to strive for that sort of idealism ever since, and we stumbled pretty much immediately after accomplishing some of those goals.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because it was the 50s. Well, the 50s were only good for white people. It's rich white people.
Absolutely. That's totally true. Absolutely.
So if you're a second-class citizen, or do black people from that time fall into second-class citizen? Is that?
I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, maybe third class. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, this is the Titanic right now.
It's been awful for forever. So
but, yeah, I mean, well, you had that, and then there was Jim Crow laws, and then it all came to a head in the 60s.
Right.
And that's the moment that it started to falter for white people.
Totally.
So the white people have been trying to get back to the 50s because that's where they felt most confident. And it's like, you don't want that, though. I mean, even if we had that, that would mean that you guys who are like, poor now, who are still wanting that for some reason, you would not have the riches that the white people in the 50s had. You wouldn't have the Leave It to Beaver family. You'd be a second-class citizen anyway. So I don't understand why that's what we're striving for. We should be striving for everybody to be equal. That would be the thing that actually reduces crime.
Communism, Gerrit.
Yeah, sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Socialism. Everyone has the right to fucking be. That's what it is. You have the right to be.
It's funny because there is a difference. I mean, oh my God, we all know there's a difference between communism and socialism.
I know.
And in communism, it literally is like totally equal all the time, always.
I don't like that idea either, though, because you can't pick up slackers.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. I just think it's funny, like, when you talk about socialism, it's not about necessarily making it the exact same for everybody. It's just kind of like having different areas of help all over the place that people can kind of fall into, you know? And like carving out a thing for yourself while having the stupid shit that you don't have to think about taken care of. So it's no big deal.
I feel like socialism is the idea of giving everyone equal opportunity. Opportunity is such a word that I don't think is floated around enough when talking about democratic socialism. I think equal opportunity, I think that's the phrase. Because if you gave everybody equal opportunity, then the amount of success... But the problem is, once you have that thing where it's like, oh, now we're all equal, there are people who would be more successful, and that would, fucking knock out a Jeff Bezos who has, destroyed so many lives to get as much money as he fucking has. So
what do you mean? I think he's doing a really good job.
You're right. I did use. Yeah. I still use Amazon. I feel so bad about it, but I mean, it's fucking got the monopoly.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, we're in a pandemic. It is a very odd situation. I mean, that guy's a terrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. I'm sorry.
He is.
I'm so like. I would love to have $1 billion, but he has like more than $1 billion also. Like, he has so much money, and people with that much money only want to figure out a way to use it for their own benefit at that point. And that means swinging like wide swings of like culture and politics your way. And it will completely impact everybody. And it doesn't just impact people's lives. It impacts like the rules and the regulations and the laws that are in place, and they will have effects for years in the development of a nation and in the culture of a nation. And it's just crazy that's totally chill, bro.
I just want someone who has that much money to get involved in a good way, Like, the only involvement that him and Elon Musk are doing, or fucking Warren Buffett, it's all stock market shit, and it's all, how can I make more money for me, And anytime that they donate, it's just to get out of the tax bracket. It's never, they're shuffling money around so they don't have to pay taxes, and that's the fucking problem. And Joe Biden's not going to help with that at all. So
I don't know about that. I mean, look, I am so excited to vote for Biden, and I have checked out his the things that he talks about, and I know it's kind of like Batman. He's not the hero we deserve, he's the hero we need right now. Am I paraphrasing the shit out of this?
He's not the hero we need, he's the hero we deserve.
There we go. That's actually,
I don't know if that's the correct phrase, but it makes the most sense.
Either way, the fact is he has shown a willingness to reach across the aisle and to other more progressive people. I know it's not the best, but goddamn, anything, not only is obviously anything better than Trump, but God, just reading some of the policies he has about like clean energy and education, it just makes you happy again to realize that there are possibilities, that there's a stepping stone to things bigger than what are happening right now.
The thing is, I'm not excited to vote for the man because of all the shit that he has done in his political career. It's pretty fucked up. I am happy to vote for the idea that he's a weather vane and he will go wherever the current is moving. And the current is moving away from Trump and it's moving towards Bernie. So that's one thing. Like, all those policies that you're reading, that shit is fucking Bernie. That shit is the team.
I totally get that. I do get that.
So once again, the hero we needed was Bernie. The hero we're getting that we deserve is fucking Biden. That's. I mean, I'm not excited to vote for him. I'm excited to vote for the policies and everything behind him.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Definitely. I mean, that's an interesting way to put it. When was the last time? I mean, we have such limited experience in voting for somebody that we're actually excited about.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was excited about Obama.
I think I was. I don't even remember. I mean, I feel like I was only excited because it felt like it was the thing to be excited about. I mean, obviously, I think, like, it's so rare for me to have a memory of separating a person from their political ideology because I vote so infrequently. Because honestly, it's every 4 years. You know, I mean, it takes fucking.
You should vote in the smaller elections. I'm doing that this year.
Okay, I do that too. Come on now.
Oh, you said every 4 years.
I mean, okay, like, I guess since, 2014, I want to say?
Okay.
But, like...
I thought you were being serious. Sorry.
No, I mean, what I mean is, like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, what I'm trying to say is, when we were able to vote, it was literally 2012, right? So we've been able to vote through, like, a couple of election cycles. Like, president, and then, I guess, the Senate, and then president, and then the Senate. And, like, that's it. And it's, like... That's cool and everything. Obviously, for sure, go out and vote. But, like, they're just – you're so young when you first vote. And especially back then, a lot of people weren't as, I don't know, politically awake as they are now.
They definitely weren't when we were younger. And now people definitely are. Because I hate the idea of people, like, having little education and then willfully not – looking up on their fucking phone. You have all of the knowledge right there. What are you doing?
Right. But this is, I mean, in some ways, I think that people are becoming more aware. People are becoming aware of the elections in between. So it's hard not to become optimistic because it just feels like maybe this is that sort of moment in history where people are kind of like, oh shit, this is so easy to accomplish. All you have to do is be aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
And the majority of people are into progressive ideals. So all they have to do is vote for them, for Christ's sake.
I mean, that's the bright spot, basically, of his presidency, is that things got so fucked up that now we have to, to use his term, drain the swamp. He is the swamp. So,
oh my God.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
I hate that guy so much.
Oh, so do I.
I hate him so much.
So do I.
I hate that guy. He's such a fucking loser. Such a loser. And the man has more money than I'll ever have, even regardless of how much he exaggerates. It's crazy.
Okay, it's Mr. Loser to you.
He actually doesn't have money. Did you know anything about... We're not going to get into video games today. Should be the rest of the season, just us pushing...
We're trying to... I mean, we've gotten closer.
I know.
We've gotten closer.
The thing with him, he has no money. Deutsche Bank. Have you read anything about this?
I've read a little bit, and I know that he's in with the Russian mafia.
I mean, I believe that. Deutsche Bank is the only bank that would loan him money because it was a mutual thing where everyone on Wall Street hates Trump. They wouldn't loan him money. Deutsche Bank is a notoriously awful bank because they've laundered money for fucking terrorists or some shit. And so they found each other, and then Deutsche Bank loaned money out to Trump because it would look good for Trump and Trump would look good for them. Then he started announcing that he was going to run for president in 2012. That was the first time. It was before 2016 where he actually ran. He was talking about it.
He was talking about it.
And they got afraid because that means that he... Or no, I'm sorry. This was... Okay, so in 2008, it was the financial crisis, right? So he owed them a bunch of money and was dodging them and paying the loans. And then what happened in that time, he sued Deutsche Bank. So therefore... he wouldn't have to pay them money, citing the stock market, whatever, the crash of 2008 as the reason, because it's like a hurricane of fucking something. His lawyers used that wording to be like, this is a act of God, basically. Yeah.
No.
I swear to God. So he sued them.
That's true then for every American. Why did Americans lose homes? Like,
dude, fucking Ask Joe Biden. So, the and then 2012 he starts announcing that he's going to be running. He sued them in 2008. I think they countersued, and so it was just kind of like a butting of heads. And then he announces that he's going to run in 2012, and then they get held up again. And then he wins the presidency in 2016, and they kind of back off because if they sue a sitting president, it looks really bad for them. And they also can't get the money from him because blah, 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 and he's just not going to pay them. And it's like this thing that's been continually just stifled down. And then he gets together with Jared Kushner, who is also a landlord in New York of the worst fucking places, and his goal is to get people living in there and then drive them out so he can make money off of them and not do literally anything to these apartments. Fucking piece of shit. This is all from the podcast The Daily, and then Dirty Money, if you watch that at all. That's a Netflix documentary series. So it's all this shit, and he is afraid of losing the presidency because once he loses and is out of office,
he's so fucked.
Deutsche Bank can fucking latch onto him and get that fucking money back, and he can get sued and go to prison for fucking corruption.
Again, among so many things I was gonna say, but you're right. The corruption thing for sure. I mean,
This isn't even mentioning Russia. Like, it's fucking this soil.
So much shit. I have to say also, I've read a couple articles in the last week or so that are talking about it seems like Trump might drop out.
I saw that too.
And I was like, he's literally not going to drop out. I mean, I'm sure he might. It's possibly throwing a hissy fit about how shitty his numbers are because he definitely is the kind of person to be talking about that kind of stuff and be sad about it or what have you. But why he can't drop out? If he drops out, he is so fucked.
Yeah, he won't.
I mean, unless, what if? I mean, I'm sure you've heard this theory, but if and when he does lose, he just straight up flies to Russia and just lives the rest of his life there.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. I guarantee it happens. I mean,
I think it'd be hilarious.
Could you imagine a president from the United States leaves to seek asylum
in Russia?
That is the idea of a president who's like, no Mexicans, caravan, it's a caravan, they're seeking asylum, it's bullshit, they don't need asylum. And then he loses the presidency because he's too fucking racist for a racist country, and then he leaves to go to Russia to fucking to seek asylum. That's fucking insane to me.
I love it. I
do too.
I mean, I'd rather see him get prosecuted, obviously, but man, what a cherry on top to this whole shit show. I mean, seriously.
Good old red cherry.
Oh my God. You know, I had an epiphany the other day, actually. It was just a few days ago. I was just chilling and I was living because I'm alive. Like this whole time I've been alive.
How dare you?
I know, right? And I had this weird idea where I was like, for one, like a couple minutes, I had this, like, I was in the flow of like existence. And I was like, honest to God, time flies. And it'll be 5 years gone before we know it. And at that time, and I'm being optimistic here, but this whole thing will be behind us in many ways. Obviously, there will be, repercussions throughout history, blah, 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 whatever. And obviously, nothing's going to be back to normal, quote unquote. But the point being, eventually, there will be a sense of new normal in a positive way. And I was like, it'll happen. It's just going to take we're just not there yet. And it was just nice, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this, but damn.
Yeah, we'll be 34, 35 at that time.
Yeah, and think about Ryan Reynolds is like 42, 43.
Yeah, and he still looks
alive.
Great.
Yeah.
After shaving my beard, my hair is, for people watching, my hair is so big, it looks like I'm wearing a wig. Like, I feel like my face is smaller than my hair is. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it might translate to screen, but, like, it looks like...
I think it looks good. It looks like you're in the 70s. I like it.
Well, it looks like I'm about to sign the Declaration of Independence, but I forgot my actual white wig at home.
I'm into it. You can be John Hancock. I can be, one of the other founding fathers, like Herbie Hancock.
But you look like your hair's in a ponytail pulled back. You look like Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hamilton, so that's perfect.
I'm in. Who shot ya? That's a Biggie Smalls lyric. How's that song go?
I don't know.
First shot was shot in my shot, and I shot the shot, and I shot the pot lot dot.
No, we'll end on this. Here we go. I am not throwing away my shot.
That's what it is.
That's
what it is. Hey, that's on Disney Plus. Hey, can I just say, I know you wanted to end. That's totally fine. I just have to say, in regards to censorship and the fact that Netflix now exists and somehow no one gives a shit anymore, even though Netflix is more accessible than like anything else.
Yeah.
Disney Plus edited out Daryl Hannah's butt in Splash.
In Splash, yeah.
And they also have, like, Disney Plus is struggling right now.
Of course they are.
Because they don't have any content. And it's not really their fault. Like, they were building on the stones that they would be throwing with Marvel series throughout the next few months, which obviously are not happening now. Mm-hmm. But it's like, dude, you have a whole catalog of, like, 20th Century Fox films is an easy example.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not... Why are they not putting that shit on there? They own Die Hard, right? I mean, that
Die Hard, Aliens. I mean, all that's many more.
X-Men, fucking, they have it all.
I think they actually do have X-Men on there now. I think they just added that, but I don't know about like Deadpool's not on there. Deadpool 2 is not on there.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're not doing these things. It makes no sense. So Disney Plus, I mean, it's a fine platform, but I also think it's because it's Disney. And it's Jeff Bezos light, and
totally.
They own everything, and they've fucking ruined Star Wars.
Oh my God! Don't even.
We'll get to that on the next episode.
Fucking Star Wars sucks. I can't believe it. I can't believe how excited I was. In like 2013 when they announced that shit, and it is amazing to me that it has been like 5 years since that fucking movie came out, and holy shit, it has aged poorly. It's
not good. I mean, really, and I know that I get flack for this, but Last Jedi is still my favorite because I think it tried something new, and Rian Johnson is great. I mean, I appreciated what it was trying to do.
I can't even give flack anymore because
the rest are so bad that it like elevates that to a better level. That's how fucking crazy it is.
I was speechless when Rise of Skywalker was over. People will express to me, close family members have expressed to me, oh, I liked it. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Because I know you are a smart individual. I know you think about things critically, and not even critically, but just like in a way that you measure its existence in a spectrum of the other ones having existed as well. So there's not just like analytics going on, but there's like a historical factor that you're judging and critiquing movies. And you liked Rise of Skywalker? It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Horrendously bad. Like, even the storytelling aspect of it, this is how I sum it up. You're supposed to feel something when Chewbacca dies, right? And then you don't. And then it's revealed immediately that he's still alive, but then the characters are still dealing with the grief that he's dead. And you're, as the audience, you're like, we know he's alive, though. Why are we watching this scene? What is happening right now? If you would have simply moved that scene earlier... Therefore, they would have seen him die, quote unquote, and then they would have had this realization that we have to keep doing the mission even though he's dead. And then they don't even have that fucking scene with, what's his name? Hux or whatever. And then it's revealed when they run into him that, oh, you're still alive. And then the audience is like, well, how did that happen? And then there's a line of like, oh, there were 2 ships. And it's just like, oh, there we go. That would have fucking been a note for 20 minutes where we would have been feeling sad and depressed. But the movie makes you feel fucking nothing. There's no feeling in that movie whatsoever because everything is undone immediately.
Totally agree.
It's fucking terrible.
It's crazy too. And I mean, honestly, we probably did talk about this, but like, fucking they pretend there's feeling there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about Chewbacca's death. That's a great example, but like the rest of the movie as it's going, like the music will swell and characters will exchange dialogue that feels like it's like all life altering, you know?
Yeah.
And the whole time it feels like you're watching a trailer for a movie and you want to feel emotional about it, but it's just, you're like, this is all bullshit, though. This is so empty. It's such an empty experience.
Yeah.
And the fucking ending in the ending.
It's so bad.
And it's like a fucking bunch of high schoolers got together and were like, dude, we should just end it like, this is so easy. Just get like some lady, be like, what's your name? Be like, Ray who? Like, oh, Skylar. And then boom, like, get it, guys? And that's how it ends in real life.
And I can't believe that that's the end of that trilogy. I mean, are they going to make more Star Wars movies?
They are, but
in 30 years?
Not with those. I mean, they'll for sure make more Star Wars movies. Let's be real here. But there's, as far as I know, they will not do it with that cast again. And it's such a hugely wasted opportunity. Yeah. And I hate those movies. And they're all shit. And you waited 5 years, and they're all shit. And fucking none of them are good. And fucking not. I mean, they're all bad. Solo's bad. I'm sorry. It's not. I'll watch it. I think it's actually one of the better ones they released, but still not great.
No,
and then
bad.
Rogue One is bad. Everyone loves the last 30 minutes. Well, fucking that's great, but the movie's not good. And then you can say the same thing. I mean, they're all bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I hate all of them. I hate them. They're the reason Star Wars is America. Everyone's just like, hey, let's just, like, we're all cool, man. Money, money, money. Empty experience. And then it's over, and you're like, what? Like, that's... Like, you may ask yourself, like, how did I get here? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're fucking terrible. I think, so Disney Plus sucks.
Yeah, so anyway, not sure why they're censoring themselves is all I'm saying. Yeah,
that's the only thing they had going for them. I mean, what child is watching Splash? Is there a kid that's just like, I want to see this movie of a fucking mermaid? Who
Tom Hanks. I liked him in that movie Angels and Demons because that's the newest movie I know him from because I'm 7.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't understand why they were, editing that. Whatever. I don't know. Everything's changing, but for the worse, I think. Like, there's we really have went over time, but The Office, there's an episode where someone's in blackface. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I must say I don't know that episode, even though I do love The Office, but...
I don't know the episode, but they edited that scene out, I guess, on Netflix or Hulu or something.
I mean, that stuff, like... I think I was talking to my dad about this. There is a conversation to be had about moments like that.
Yeah.
But, like, let's take each one individually.
That's what I was saying.
Because when you're watching 30 Rock and Jane Krakowski is in blackface, like, everyone's looking at her like she's an idiot. And
that's what I was saying.
She is, like, a dim-witted character who doesn't understand what she's doing is insanely racist.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Basically, when you do something like that, you're teaching a lesson. That's why everyone trying to cancel Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder is like, no. There's a lesson to be learned here. That's why we're showing this thing.
The joke is that he's a fucking idiot.
Yes. He's a fucking dedicated actor, and it's, like, highly offensive. That's the reason that this is fucking funny, because he's such a dummy. It also happens in Community. There's a blackface thing in there that they edited out or whatever.
Well, what's weird is I didn't know that was edited out. I thought that had escaped criticism because the scene that I've heard was edited out is where Ken Jeong has – it's not blackface. It is black paint, but he's playing a dark elf. And anyone who's played Skyrim knows dark elves can get real dark.
Mm.
So I'm not sure. Like, they're literally doing a Dungeons and Dragons episode. He dresses up as the character, and that's what he looks like. And it's just kind of weird.
That might not be the one then.
Okay.
Maybe.
It might not.
I don't know.
I really don't know. I thought it escaped, again, I thought it escaped criticism. So.
I don't know. I know Golden Girls has gotten shit because they have, like, fucking face masks on. And you're like, so is that blackface now? Face masks?
Dude, it's really getting weird. But the weird thing is, too, have you seen Dear White People?
No.
So I've only seen the movie. The movie is good. Can I give you, like, a spoiler on what happens in it?
No. Can you give me a plot synopsis? Or does it have to do with blackface?
It does have to do with blackface.
Okay.
It's happened in real life. I probably could have easily not mentioned this.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think it would impact your viewing. But
spoiler, everybody.
Spoiler for the movie Dear White People. They're on a college campus. Like, that's where the movie takes place.
Yeah.
And eventually there's a party that's thrown where, like, it's like the cool frat, and obviously they're all white people because, like, they're rich. I believe this is the plot. It's been a while. But anyways, there's a frat party and everyone's wearing blackface. Like, that's the theme of the party. It's not a toga party. It's a blackface party. So people are like they're dressed up in blackface and doing racist shit.
This is a true story. This happened.
So the point of the movie is like it's in a movie. I'm watching it like Jesus, this is fucked up. But like the end of the movie is like, there are photos of real parties where this is a thing, and it's like, wait a minute, really?
So it inspired those things inspired the movie.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is there's this, as with everything, there's a spectrum that exists of the acceptability of blackface. I know this is going to sound so bad
I know what you're saying.
But like, yeah, if that's on one end along with like Jim Crow shit and, you know, like me working at Amazon delivering packages and seeing those little like horse jockey statues with blackface, I was like, how the fuck are you?
Yeah.
People would put those on their porches. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so if that's at one end, and like 30 Rock is at another end, and even beyond that is Community, where Ken Jeong is playing a dark elf. It's kind of like, sure, a conversation should happen. We're all having, I mean, this is like a cultural moment, and it's totally okay to talk about this, but I don't know if a knee-jerk reaction of pulling all of those episodes is the best way to go about things.
It's for sure not. And we talked about Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, and I feel like those were products started off of the, you know, a characterization of stereotypical black people. Therefore, that should be changed. We don't even need to have a conversation. That company should just fucking change it. There's no reason that they have to make a press statement, you know, release and be like, we're going to be good now. We're going to change it. Just fucking change it and the conversation's done. Versus a thing like this, which it's used for satire or commentary. There's a reason that it was written. Maybe it's for humor. Maybe it's for, you know, some other thing. We should be able to laugh at everything, you know? I mean, or have a conversation about that something like that. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either. Again, you know, we're two white people. We're probably way off the mark on this. Let's be honest.
But this Dear White People thing that you're talking about, I'm assuming it's black people that wrote it?
Yeah.
Or directed it?
Yeah. Totally.
So, you know, they're able to have the conversation. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
was that movie taken down or whatever?
I don't think so. The movie, I mean, it's a good movie. It inspired a TV show. Yeah.
So then, what the fuck? I mean, that movie is doing the exact same thing that these other things are doing. You're showing how crazy this behavior is. That is, if so many people learn by example and see that and be like, oh, they're making fun of that person, well, maybe I shouldn't do that.
I feel like the thing with the movie is it's sort of represented in like an educational context, or like you know, because it's like realistic.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is kind of off topic, I guess, but I can't believe that movie came out like, let's say, around 5 years ago, and I watched it, and I was like, when I saw the photos pop up at the end of real parties like that, I was like, no way. Like, I still couldn't believe it, because I was like, no way. And then like that has snowballed. That's part of the issue. That's part of the multiple issues that have snowballed into 2020, where it's like, oh shit, we're finally talking about this. And it's so cathartic, even though who knows if anything's going to change.
I think it's just so much denial that the human race has that you have to, first of all, you have to admit that you're wrong. That's the whole thing. Admit that not everything that you were taught is right, and that this country isn't built on good values. It never has been.
It has
Let's
not been.
Strive for greatness. Not to quote Trump, but
you're right though, and it's so weird to me that like I know this sounds weird. If I make a mistake, I love admitting it, because
me too.
We can work on it then, and I can show you that I'm willing to learn. And in the professional world, I think that's a huge asset to be able to admit those things and to like commit to trying to do better. And because so I just don't get why you would just like be like, sweep it under the rug. It's fine. Like, it's because no worries.
It's because of pride. It's
pride, power, and greed. It's all of those things. It's all the major sins, really.
That is true. I mean, it is all 7 deadly sins. I mean, the idea that Jeff Bezos is fucking lazy as shit and makes a ton of money, that's sloth and pride and greed all right there into one. So
yeah, it's a delicious sin burrito.
Didn't he cheat on his wife too?
Yeah, I think they got divorced, right?
Yeah, that's lust right there.
Nice.
That's 4 fucking sins. Also, I will say this. The sins aren't in the Bible. I want to throw that out there. So,
don't worry. The Bible doesn't matter anyways.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't matter when people choose for it to not matter. Okay.
Anyway.
Let's wrap up.
Let's wrap up. So GoldenEye is definitely better than The World Is Not Enough, even though they operate on a similar engine.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. And, third person wise, wasn't a huge fan of Tomorrow Never Dies. Everything or Nothing, very solid, interesting.
We'll talk. Yeah, so
Sorry, I'm just being a fucking dickhead.
Well, I think we'll talk about the different Let's fucking hold us to it. Zach Nestor and Alex Plotkowski, Wes Arkenstein, hold us to this shit, and we'll talk about all these video games next week. I'll show them too. I have them, and if you guys watch on the YouTubes, I can show those games to you because I have them all up until the Daniel Craig ones.
Exactly. He was in one called Bloodstone.
He was in 3. He was in Bloodstone, wow. Quantum of Solace.
007 Legends.
Quantum of Solace, Bloodstone, and 007 Legends.
Nailed it. I got 2 of those.
Sean Connery was in one.
From Russia with Love. Damn, that was a good one. I liked that one.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, this has been the Schlaflocken Plocken podcast with vegetable booplocken and Mr.
celery
Paprika.
Carrots.
And let's all go die of salmonella poisoning. No reason to exist in this quantum realm anymore. I love V8 energy drinks. Say hi to my cats for me.
All right, enjoy the music, everybody.
Yes, enjoy. So long.
Auf Wiedersehen. You're gay. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Perfect.